I'm back with a Wansee entertainment video. I don't think I've done one in over 2 months now, so sorry for the wait. I did like one video like a month ago, but that was just a suggestion, but now I'm getting back to like the 21 Horror Stories compilation thingy. So this is going to be 21 Horror Stories animated compilation of February 2021, part 2. There will be a part 3, of course. And then after that, I'll do the March compilation. So I will try to do this at least once a month. If you guys want it more, then let me know. Because again, it already has been 2 months since my last one. So obviously I haven't been doing them that much, but if you guys want them a little bit more, then just let me know. I am still fighting a cold, as you guys can hear. So don't mind that. I feel alright though, I guess. But yeah, not really much else to say. I don't obviously remember any stories from the first part, but that doesn't matter. These are going to be basically new stories, so this is going to be 22 minutes long. Once again, a compilation of February 2021, and this is going to be part 2. So let's go, guys. I Met the Boy in the Woods, narrated by Nightmare Files.
My name is Eric, and this happened to me when I was around 7 or 8 years old. One summer, my dad took me to a campsite for a long weekend. When we arrived, there were some kids around my age playing in a small park. I looked at my dad, and he said, "Go ahead." So my dad unpacked the car, and I went to maybe make some friends.
Okay,
There were
good.
2 boys in a small park. I said hello, and they said hello back. Their names were Kevin and Graham. Graham had to go shortly after because his parents were calling for him. So Kevin and I hung around, and we talked about things we liked and how long we were staying at the campsite.
Okay.
After about an hour, Kevin's mom was calling for him, so we had to leave. I was about to head back to my dad when a boy appeared from the woods.
It's kind of
He
creepy.
said hello. I said, "How back?" He introduced himself as Daniel. He seemed like a nice kid, and we got along pretty well. He asked me if I wanted to play hide and seek, so
Where'd he
I
come
said
from?
yes.
In the woods?
We played hide and seek at the campsite for maybe 45 minutes until I told him I had to go, so I went back to my dad and went to the camper. I told my dad I had made some friends, and my dad asked where their campers were. I told him where Kevin and Graham's were, but I never asked where Daniel was. I thought maybe, well, I'll see him the next day and I'll ask him then. So the next day I went outside to see if any of the kids wanted to play. Kevin and Graham were both unavailable. I was about to just return back to my camper when Daniel appeared out of nowhere, out the woods.
That's so
We
creepy.
greeted each other, and I asked him if he wanted to play hide and seek again. He said yeah. But he said we should play at his house. I asked him where his house was. He told me it's not far. It's just through the woods. I followed Daniel in the woods toward his house. We were walking for ages, and one thing that I found unusual was the more we walked, the less talkative and distant Daniel became. Eventually, we exited the woods, and Daniel said, "Here we are." He pointed at a rundown old house with a
That
white
looks like a
van
pretty good
parked
house, though.
beside it.
It's animated pretty
He
well.
started walking toward it. I slowly followed and asked Daniel, "So this is your house?" He replied by saying, "Yeah, let's go play hide and seek." I got this bad feeling. It became worse the closer we got to the house. It didn't look like a normal house. I started to notice that there were people standing by the window
Oh
beside the
no.
house.
Oh
I
no.
asked Daniel if that was his dad in the window. And he said, yeah. Don't worry about him. He's harmless."
Uh-huh.
And he just continued walking.
And the other 2 guys in the
I
window?
don't know what it was, but something made me slow down. Daniel was by the front door at this point, and when he turned around, he asked me if I was coming. I told him I had to go. I turned around and ran through the forest and
Run
back
back.
to my camper. I spent the next few hours watching TV. Then I got bored and decided to go back outside.
Oh god.
I knocked on Graham's door, but he wasn't available.
Door?
I knocked on
The
Kevin's
tent.
door, and his dad told me he was already out with some boy named Daniel.
Uh-oh.
So I went back to the camper and did something else with my time. Late that night, there was a knock on our door.
It's not a door,
It
it's a
was Kevin's
freaking...
parents. They asked if we had seen Kevin anywhere, as he's been gone for hours. I asked
Daniel
my mom
killed
if
him.
she had checked Daniel's house, and she said no because she didn't know where Daniel lived. I showed Kevin's parents along with my dad and a few other people through the woods to Daniel's house. When we got there, the van was gone. And when we knocked on the door, there was no answer. And the whole
No.
house was empty and abandoned.
They're probably dead.
We didn't
He's
find
probably
Kevin
dead.
for the rest of our time at the campsite, and he's still missing to this day as far as I know. I thought then, and still think today, that Daniel was some kind of bait to lure kids in the same age as him to be kidnapped.
Yes.
And I'm thankful my gut sensed danger and told me to leave.
Oh shit. That's scary, man. Like that easily could have been him if he didn't run away. That's why you gotta trust your gut. I almost killed myself because of the man in my dream.
It was on August 6th.
It's a dream.
I came back home after work thinking of taking a long sleep during the weekend. As soon as I arrived home, I washed up quickly, lay down in bed, and slept right away.
Okay.
The time was around 7 p.m.
It's early.
But when I opened my eyes for some reason, it was at 2 a.m. I was wondering why I woke up so
Why are curtains
since I
open?
usually fall asleep on weekends.
Why are damn curtains
to wake
open?
me up.
Goodness.
However, I decided to drink water while I was up anyway. So I got out of my bed, went to the kitchen, and lay in bed to sleep again. Just then, it was something furry.
What the
I think,
fuck is that?
touched my back. No, it can't be. I used to lie on my side and sleep. I opened my eyes for a while because of the strange feeling.
Like for me, that would have been my
So I
cats.
decided
Like
to just
you
ignore
know.
it without much thought. However, that was not an illusion. I could feel someone kept touching my back. It seemed to be rough, and there was even something sticky about it. My heart dropped, and I slowly looked back. There was a man lying there.
What the
I
fuck?
was sweating like the cold sweat was coming out of all the holes in my body.
Where the fuck did he come
I've
from?
never seen such an awful look in my life. I could see his hair turned all white. His skin all came off. His mouth and nose were all crushed, but I couldn't recognize his face. And he was staring at me, just like that.
Punch him in the face.
I opened my eyes, screaming, and then realized it was a dream.
Nightmare,
Because of
more like
sweating
it.
a lot, I got thirsty, so I went to the kitchen, drinking some water again. I lay down thinking that was the end of the nightmare,
Okay.
but it wasn't. I had to go through the same situation 2 more times. In the first dream, I also got up in surprise, but the second one was different. Somehow, I was courageous and eventually talked to the person. "Why are you doing this to me?" Then he beckoned to me instead of answering, and it felt as if he were asking me to follow him.
Oh,
If I
that
followed
was like
you,
a
you
man,
won't
but
be
also
in
a
my
wolf.
dreams anymore? He nodded and headed to the kitchen. So I followed him, and he pointed his finger to the refrigerator. And this time he pointed to a clear glass bottle when I opened it. He then opened his mouth and said for the first time, "I know you are thirsty. Drink it." It was just a dream. However, I was so scared that I couldn't reject it. So I ended up drinking the water in the bottle.
He loves it for some
After I
reason.
finished drinking, he asked me to send him off and said that he would no longer come. Unwillingly, I opened the front door and went with him.
Oh
Even
my
though my
God.
house was an apartment, there were no elevators and stairs in my dream, and we went straight out to the yard. And it was weird that my whole body began to sweat while I was walking on the flat.
Why are you going with him? Go back
sending him
inside.
off. I finally arrived at the front gate and tried to take a step forward to see him leaving, but I was clearly blocked by something, even though there was nothing in front of me. He kept beckoning, but it was no longer possible to move forward. Just then, I felt the water dripping on my head, and then I ended up waking up. As soon as I opened my eyes, my legs suddenly throbbed, and the moment I came to my senses, I was purely shocked. I was on the rooftop and kept bumping my thighs and knees on the railing that was blocking right in front of me to move forward. The
Oh my
rainwater woke
God.
me up, saving my life just before I was almost falling from the rooftop and killing myself. The rooftop door, which was supposed to be locked, was also open for some reason. Being terrified, I ran home without even thinking about using the elevator. I was out of breath after entering the house.
Oh my
So I
God, that's
opened the refrigerator
crazy.
again and started drinking water. Meanwhile, I suddenly remembered the glass bottle that he made me drink in my dream. So I checked what it was, and to my surprise, it was a whiskey which I used to drink when I couldn't sleep. And the bottle was definitely full until yesterday, but there was not a sip left.
That's so creepy.
To sum up, I couldn't wake up because he made me drink that whiskey. And the reason I had a hard time walking when I sent him off was that I was actually walking toward the rooftop.
Fuck.
If my body hadn't actually caught on the roof railing, I would have killed myself and said goodbye to the world.
Oh my
I knew that there were
god.
people who often had this experience
It's
out
fucking
there,
crazy.
but I was really horrified when I literally experienced it myself.
Why the fuck is your curtain still open? You fucking idiot. Honestly, that's fucking terrifying. I can't even imagine. Holy shit. Oh
I
my
got a
god.
flower from a stranger, and something was wrong.
Then don't
After I had
accept
entered
it.
the company, I joined a small group. It was a gathering where the office workers met once a week to read or do other things together. However, I was being shy, so I felt awkward after joining there for the first time. Then I met one person who joined the group for the first time that day, and he was a very sociable type. I became strangely close to him, and after that, I started to meet him at some other place beside the day of the small group, and we had a meal or drink sometimes.
A date?
He would often give me some flowers, introducing himself as a florist who works at a flower shop. For your information, we weren't dating each other at that time. But one weird thing was that he always asked me for a small amount of money whenever he gave me the flowers. And it's always been a very small amount, like 1, 5, or 10 cents. When I asked him why, then he always answered like this: "There's a superstition to all the florists. If they don't get paid for making a bouquet, they will become unhappy." I've often wondered, but I didn't know much about flowers and
I mean,
believed
10
in
cents? Who
superstitions like
cares?
that.
5 cents?
So I
1
would take
cent?
my coins from my wallet readily. I mean, it wasn't a lot of money, it was just a coin, not a big deal. One day I had to buy some flowers.
Yeah,
Then I
y'all saw
suddenly
that
remembered
smirk.
a flower shop where he was working. Well, I better buy from someone I know since he said the flower shop is near here. However, I couldn't believe what I heard when I finally got there. He was not there, and the shopkeeper said that he doesn't even know about him. He was not working here.
Oh no.
Suddenly, I felt uncomfortable. The bad feelings got worse, that I realized that he had always taken cash from me. So after I came back home, I searched the internet and went to the shaman with the flowers that he gave me. When I showed his picture on the cell phone and talked about him, she said, "I think he put his bad luck into the flowers and gave them to you. What he got money from you was that he had an intention that he's trying to do business with you. It's hard to just hand the bad luck over to someone who doesn't know. But it is said that the money in someone's wallet contains some of his or her luck. So if you receive it, you get someone's luck and it becomes like a deal. In other words, you bought his bad luck." She also told me that there was a lot of bad energy in both of my hands and my head, and actually, I had been having a lot of nightmares and suffering headaches at that time. She said to burn all the flowers in the house as soon as possible. "Bring me everything if you receive any from him." She also told like this, and as soon as
She
I
also
came
seems
back
kinda
home,
sus.
I packed the flowers and the book that he had given me, went back to the shaman, and we decided to burn things together on the spot. While I was passing over the stuff, I suddenly found the part of the book was fixed with a tape. I slowly took it off and there was a dried grass flower in it. I got goosebumps in an instant. I didn't want to get involved with him anymore. So after returning from the shaman's house, I left the group and blocked his number. However, he somehow contacted me for the next 3 months.
Leave me
He would
alone.
text me calmly, asking me when I would meet him, why I left the group, and even saying, "The weather is so nice and I will send flowers for you."
No, I'm
I
good.
was so horrified by his attitude, so I changed the number after that, and there was no more contact from him afterward.
Good.
Fortunately, I didn't have nightmares, and the headache disappeared as if nothing had happened before. And since that day, I never received anything from a stranger.
Yeah, gifts from strangers are sus because you never know what the true intentions really are. My true scary memory of the haunted house.
When I was around 8 years old, I transferred to another school in the middle of the summer. Because I was so young at that time, I was able to get along with my classmates quickly.
Okay.
One day, all the girls left the class for their prior engagements, and the boys asked me to join them to go somewhere, saying they had found something interesting. I followed them through the paddy fields behind the school, and there was a 3-story house that had
I'm not
been
going in
deserted
there.
a long time ago.
I'm not going in there.
School finished early that day, so the sun was still up. The exterior of the house was not too scary except for a broken window.
4 broken
Well,
windows.
nothing here. 5 of my friends and I went inside and we saw the window broken on the stairs leading up to the second
There's
floor.
stuff on the wall.
I thought it was just an ordinary restaurant when I saw it from outside. But as soon as I went up to the second floor, I could say that it was definitely someone's house. But the weird thing was that the inside was so cold that it was almost freezing.
Oh, no heating, no
Although
air
it was sunny
conditioning.
and especially hot that day. And all of the furniture was standing upside down. We then came into the main room, and one of my friends found a wallet on top of a pile of furniture.
Money.
When he opened it up, there was a resident registration card and cash inside. I suddenly got goosebumps, so I asked him to put the wallet down and turn my eyes to the living room for a moment. And it was exactly that moment. It wasn't clearly visible, but there was a woman's silhouette in a long dress dancing in the living room.
I don't fuck
She
with
was
that.
jumping up and down, swinging her arms from side to side. And that was the creepiest scene I've ever seen before.
I don't fuck with that. Leave
We were
now.
the only people in this house. So being surprised, I looked at my friends and looked back into the living room again. And there was no one there anymore.
It's a ghost.
Guys, I'm scared. We should leave.
Yeah, probably.
I told my friends and they got scared too. So they followed right after me. The moment we got out of the main room, the door suddenly slammed shut.
Oh fuck. That's why I don't. That's why I don't do
One
that
of the
shit.
friends tried to open the door, but it didn't open.
That's
As
exactly
if
why I
it
don't
was
go into a
locked.
haunted house.
Just then, I realized the other one who had found a wallet was still holding it. And we all screamed and ran downstairs. As soon as we were about to go home, someone began to make a fuss about that he'd left his shoe bag upstairs. We had no choice but to decide the people to go back inside by playing rock, paper, scissors. Eventually, I was the one who lost, so I had to go upstairs with him. But as soon as we went up, we couldn't say any words and couldn't believe what we just saw.
What?
The bedroom door was open. We couldn't even think of bringing back the shoe bag. We just had to run downstairs in a rush with a loud scream.
What the ghost? What do you expect?
The next day, I came back home after playing outside with my friends as usual. And that evening, I heard my friend who took the wallet was in a car accident on his way home by bicycle. Unfortunately, he was not seriously injured. However, I didn't feel good about it anyway. So a few days later, we ended up heading back to the deserted house to return the wallet.
There you go.
And there was something inside.
The woman?
I can tell you that there was literally nothing in the living room or on the second floor when we first went there. However,
Was it a witch's hat?
now there was a baby doll hanging on the light.
Oh my god.
I will never forget that experience my whole life.
It's blinking. No. I don't fuck with that. That's why you don't steal wallets. The freaking ghost got freaking revenge. I was like, you know what?
True scary story about my
Because
teacher's
a bitch in
memory.
a car accident.
I want to talk about the incident that my art teacher experienced in person. When she was a high school student, there was a girl whose mother was a shaman. And there were a
She
lot
looks
of
sus.
rumors about her that she literally can see the ghosts. She would always space out and often had seizures while attending classes. So she eventually had no friends around her, and even the teachers didn't touch her or care for her. One day they went on a
Sad.
school trip. When they arrived at their room, everyone went outside, and my teacher was also playing around with her friends, leaving her alone in the room. A few minutes later, my teacher suddenly heard the girl's shrill scream. She jumped back into the room in surprise, but other teachers and students were already standing in front of the door and blocking her sight. No one dared to enter the room. They just stood there in fear. My teacher, who was puzzled at that time, eventually pushed through the crowd and headed forward. And she could not believe what she was watching. The girl was standing upside down while foaming at the mouth and
Oh
crying
my god, that's
loudly.
fucking terrifying. They
However,
go to the hospital. What is she doing in
something
class?
was weird.
I guess it's
She was
normal?
not standing by herself. It was like someone had grabbed her both ankles and lifted them up. Her legs stretched straight and her face was pressed down on the floor. My teacher often says that she still remembered that day so vividly as what happened just yesterday. What was it that got that girl's ankle that day? Still, I have no idea.
Uh-oh. Well, she was obviously possessed. I don't know why the fuck she wasn't at a hospital. My true scary experience at my grandma's house. Oh god.
When I was a kid, I visited my grandmother's house with my younger brother in the middle of summer. like all the children, I was having a good time wandering around or playing in the valley. After the sun went down, I was talking to my grandmother while we were having dinner together, and she suddenly said like this, "Do not go out of this house late at night."
That's
Her
random.
face looked really serious.
Do not go out of this house at night.
Her warning without a reason was weird to me at first. And it was a little scary for me, being a young child.
Yeah, exactly.
But soon, I thought it was because the outside was too dark to go out and play. Because my grandmother's house was located in the countryside, we had to ride our bikes for almost 30 minutes to go to the nearest convenience store.
Oh, fuck
And there
that.
was no street lamp on the road, so
No.
it was pitch black.
Fuck that.
After eating dinner, my brother and I went to bed. At about 1 a.m.,
Why don't you have
my brother
curtains?
suddenly started whining that he wants ice cream.
Fucking idiot.
I recalled my grandmother's words not to go out at night. However, I suddenly wanted to have some ice cream too.
What the
I mean,
frickin'...
what can I do? We ended up riding a bike together secretly and out to the town to get some ice cream. After finishing
What did your grandma
ice cream,
say?
we were on our way back home. We were riding our bikes on the road, chattering about Pokemon, which was popular at the time.
Until...
Then all of a sudden, my brother told me like this, "Hey, the shortcut is over there." However, it was so dark around that I couldn't see the way that he pointed. And I don't know why, but I did not want to go that way.
Or he just disappeared?
Nah, let's just go back the way we came. As soon as I said that and looked forward, I could see my brother in front of me, who I thought was behind me. What the? The moment I realized sent a chill down my spine.
Wait, what?
Then who was it who's been talking behind me? It was that very
Oh my
moment that
God.
I remembered my grandmother's words. "Do not go out of this house late at night." Sweating like a pig, I pedaled vigorously on my bicycle as best I could and arrived at my grandma's house. I started
Did
to
you get
get off my
caught?
bike in a hurry, and then I heard a sudden voice coming from my ear at that very moment. Too bad. I dragged my brother's wrist, went back to our room, and ended up staying all night covered in a blanket. The next day, we kept the fact that we went out at night yesterday under wraps while we were eating breakfast, and we took a bus to go back home. What the heck was that voice yesterday? Being curious, I started to look around carefully while I was sitting next to the window, and finally, the bus passed where I'd been yesterday. And at that very moment, I froze.
Why?
It was a cliff. What would have happened if I headed for a shortcut because of the voice that I heard from behind on that day? Even now, whenever I visit my grandma's house, I still think about that moment and get goosebumps.
So let me get this straight. The ghost, or assuming that's what it was, or a random kid, whether he was alive or dead, I don't know. Either way, somebody was trying to lure him, basically to drive off the cliff, because I guess he wanted him to die. So it was pretty fucked up. That's pretty fucked up. Yeah, I don't even know what to say to that. That's pretty fucked up. Yeah, I don't even know what to say to that. But I'm glad that everything is okay. I'm glad that he was okay and everything, but that's scary, because like, who the hell was he with then? Like, who the hell was he talking to? And where did they put their bikes? Like, they just kind of like left it in the front, like someone could have stolen it. Well, I guess they basically live in the middle of nowhere, so I guess it's really unlikely that someone would steal something like that, because there's no one really around, but that's definitely weird and interesting. I'm glad he's okay and everything, but that's definitely scary. So obviously in this whole video you learned, obviously, you know, that sleepwalking can be dangerous. I used to do that. I don't think I do that anymore, knock on wood. But I did used to do that as a kid. And it scared the fuck out of me. Well, listen to your parents or grandparents if they say don't go outside at night, because it's probably for your own benefit. Because that boy was trying to kill him. They were trying to kill him. Don't know why, don't know why, don't know why. But they were trying to kill him. So I guess be aware. Be aware. Because apparently you never know what's going on. Or apparently you never know what people's actual intentions are. Again, I don't know if that boat was real or not though, because like he literally like turned around, like he was talking to somebody, right? So it's like he was there, but it's like why did he try to? I don't even know. I honestly don't know anymore. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to give this video a like. Be sure to comment down below what you guys thought of this video, and and be sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. But yeah, just be sure to comment if you guys like what you guys thought of this video. Have you guys had any horror stories like this? Have you guys ever sleepwalked? Do you guys have open curtains like a fucking idiot, or do you have them closed like a normal person? You know, like let me know this stuff. I gotta know this stuff. And yeah, just let me know anything you you want to say to me, and then I'll respond, or I'll heart your comment, and I'll do whatever. So with that being said, that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Deuces.